Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with the worst of the lightning takes. And let's get right to the news.
First off, I want to talk about the Shawn Levy Starfighter movie. We know Shawn Levy is good friends with Ryan Reynolds, but so far we've heard that there was going to be no involvement. Now the rumors have shifted.
Deadpool and Star Wars?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Alright, we know they've been close for years. They've worked together on Free Guy, The Atom Project, Deadpool and Wolverine. When Ryan Reynolds was recently interviewed by Time, it was detailed in some sort of multi-hyphenated sentence that Shawn Levy and him were getting ready to have a talk and walk to discuss Starfighter.
Okay.
Yes, a talk and walk.
He should be like an alien or a droid voice or something. I don't know that I would want to see Ryan Reynolds in Star Wars. I like Ryan
Well, didn't
Reynolds.
he even say he wasn't sure he's a fit for Star Wars? We covered another interview with him recently.
He's just one of those actors where if he's in something, he's Ryan Reynolds. Mm-hmm. And he plays Deadpool well, I'm not saying that, but he's become Deadpool.
He really has.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I like him. I just don't know that I'd ever want to see him in Star Wars.
But what this could mean is that they're once again collaborating in a sense. Not in an official capacity, but if they're going to sit around and discussing it together, and we know they've done this for movies in the past, we just talked about 3 of them, that maybe he's going to do some constructive feedback, talk about the project with him. He could even be contributed in the credits in a non-official way, like a special thanks credit. But It's interesting to think that Ryan Reynolds could be involved. Ironically, didn't Reynolds also talk about the fact that he was pitching an R-rated Star Wars movies,
I
but
remember, yes.
It didn't really go anywhere as far as he knows. So Shawn Levy is picking Ryan Reynolds' brain, and they're going to discuss the plot and details of Starfighter and work it out.
It could be the involvement has nothing to do with Ryan Reynolds actually being in Star Wars or voicing a character or being anything like that. He could actually be giving feedback and suggestions.
For all we know, he could just be some random extra in a helmet in the background scene. I mean, what was Daniel Craig was in there, and no one would ever know.
Yeah, there's been a lot of randos.
Mm-hmm. And they've cameoed in Star Wars, but most of us don't. It's a blink and you'll miss it, or they're in a suit and you'll never know it's them.
Yeah, I'm fine if he's in some kind of weird alien outfit or something in the background. Who that's fine, or has a speaking line of some kind, and you can't even tell it's him. That's okay.
Well, it's kind of cool to think that he's going to be helping with the project a little bit. I'm just hoping that they don't bring it to full-on Deadpool Wolverine levels.
I highly doubt they would do something like that. I don't know, though. They've hired Taika Waititi to do a Star Wars movie, so not that I think he's ever actually going to get around to making it, but he's got that weird kind of humor to him. So
he really does. And I don't know how much of that weird humor we need. I feel like Starfighter might be like a callback movie to Top Gun.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like Ryan Gosling will play kind of a hotshot pilot type dude, and then he's got to protect a kid and take on responsibilities and be less of a loner. I don't
know why he's got to protect the damn kid all the time.
It's supposed to be like his nephew or something.
Yeah, kids always getting in trouble in that Star Wars galaxy.
Look at the skeleton crew.
Yeah.
All sorts of hijinks there, and Jude Law had to protect him until he didn't want to anymore.
Yeah.
So there's all of that going on. Other things in the Star Wars universe. Coca-Cola and Disney released a commercial/trailer. We did talk about them doing a collab piece about some AR/buy our Coke.
Yeah.
Link.
Yeah, please buy Coca-Cola.
Please buy Coca-Cola.
Things on the cans and on the bottles.
Yeah, so they kind of advertised a bunch of fans getting together for a Star Wars marathon, and they did a whole little cantina alien scene in the walk-in, and then they're all sitting and watching the movie, and the film breaks down, and then the fans take matters into their own hands, and it's a giant LARP session. I think that's the best way of putting it.
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
It's visually interesting to watch. If that broke out in my theater, I think I'd be angry.
It is what it is. I don't know. A lot of the comments on it are very positive here on YouTube.
YouTube, known for its bots.
Yeah. I do have to wonder. Some of those are like, my God, this is the best commercial I have ever seen. And it's like, okay, it's cool, but I don't know about the best commercial I've ever seen.
Right. Well, even we've gone to a Star Wars celebration, and I didn't see any heavy LARPing.
Not really.
I mean, there are groups that perform skits and things that do that sort of thing.
It's just a funny commercial.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of bizarre, a little surreal. It makes Star Wars fans look very geeky.
Yeah, I think that's maybe my issue with it. It's like Star Wars fans are always just thought of like, oh, we just like lightsabers and all the duels, and we don't actually care about any of the depth in it. See, I think that's why Star Wars fans have such a weird reputation.
Yes.
To be honest with you, because the outsiders looking in just think Star Wars is, again,
Yes.
frivolous, fun, lightsabers and spaceships, and how could you guys get upset all the time? Why do you hate Star Wars so much? And
That
it's like,
commercial was the outsiders looking in.
That's
Right? That's what
what
their
it felt
perception
like,
would be, I
yes.
believe.
and I'm not saying you can't have fun, and I don't know. It kind of, I see things like that, and I'm like, oh, that gives us this stereotype that we're all we care about is like cool fights and the frivolous stuff. But in reality, I think most Star Wars fans actually go a little deeper than that. Just a touch deeper than that. Yeah, there's a little more to it than that. But it's a fun commercial. I'm not
It's a fun commercial.
It's cool.
Though we have to
Well
remember
done.
that they will not let you bring lightsabers into the movie theater anymore, so
No,
pay
not
attention.
anymore.
You don't do that.
I don't think you can even wear helmets anymore.
No,
can
you can't wear anything that covers your face. You
Yeah.
have to be visible for reasons.
Back in the prequel days, man, people were bringing all sorts of crazy outfits. Because I went to all the midnight releases for every prequel movie.
Even when we went to the Avengers, the very first
Yeah.
Avengers movie release, there were full-on costumes. Like,
There
we
were.
had shirts,
We
but
had cool shirts. Yeah,
Yeah,
my Thor
we had
shirt
really
on,
cool,
and you had a Wasp shirt on.
I
because you were-
custom made a screen
You
printed
did, yeah.
Wasp
That's
shirt
before
because
anybody-
I really liked
It's before Wasp was even in the MCU.
I
People-
know.
you-
On the back, I wrote "Get Stung" because I thought it was
Yeah,
cool and catchy.
you
In the
did.
front instead of Avengers, and had the wasps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You did.
it was
You thought it
pretty
was
catchy.
cool.
It's
That
pretty
was
cool.
yeah. I loved it. I thought it was.
I feel the sarcasm is
Nah, it was
strong with
cool.
you today. It's been a long week for us.
We had a fun weekend.
long
Yeah, we
week.
went up to by your parents and
Yep.
spent some time in the
4th of
Dells,
July.
and yeah, it was so. That's why there hasn't been a video
Barbecue,
in like a day or two.
fireworks, all
Yeah.
the fun stuff, family. I'm hoping everyone had a
Oh yeah,
great
here
holiday.
in the U.S. I hope you had a great time this weekend.
How come we don't celebrate the liberation
Or elsewhere?
of the
I mean, I'm
galaxy?
not saying I
What-
don't
what-
want
you
other
know,
people.
Why don't we know what day that was?
The
we
liberation of the
We know
galaxy?
when Life Day was. Why isn't there like a Star Wars Independence Day?
There's like Empire Day,
Well, yeah, that's
but that's not the Liberation
that's
Day.
the wrong day, and we don't know what calendar day that falls on for us. Whereas for some reason, Life Day, which I've always
It's like
felt was
November or
Christmas,
something,
is
yeah.
in November because Disney's like, no.
Yeah.
And then we have Star Wars Day.
Yeah, what day is like well, depends on what day. Is it like the day of the Death Star was destroyed, the second one, or is it like the Battle of Jakku?
How many? Which
Or-
liberation is it? I
Yeah.
guess is now the new question.
I would say if you're going to celebrate, it would be the destruction of the Death Star, like the second one.
Okay.
I mean, that wasn't the end, but it was a pretty fatal blow. It'd
Parties
be
were
like
held
D-Day in a way,
across
like
the
the day that
galaxy.
the tide began to turn.
And then the tide came back again, and the First Order's like, and we will rise from the ashes and do cool stuff.
Yes, unfortunately.
I am all the Empire. Sorry, I have a soft spot for Hux's speech.
I thought you were going to say you have a soft spot for the Empire. You
Oh.
do, though.
A little bit.
I mean, you really do.
My Darth Vaders say I do.
Yes, they do. I think we're just rambling.
I'm sorry. Like I said, we've had a long weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just wrap this up.
That's all I got for you this time. Now it's your turn. Take the counts below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. Did you see the commercial? I'll post a link to it if I remember in the.
Yeah, I'm curious what
comments
other
or
people
description.
have to
Yeah.
say about the commercial.
So
What do
it's
you
cool.
think
It's
about
fine.
it?
I don't know. I think it just gives Star Wars fans that impression there, or that stigma that we're all a bunch of like. It's just always what other people I think of Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
That's what they just imagine we run around with lightsabers and I'm Darth Vader.
I'm gonna swing on my
little more
sabers
of
and
that.
run. Look, I'm Boba Fett. Pew pew.
Yes.
Yes. But either way, we want to hear what you
yeah.
think of the commercial. I mean, it's pretty harmless. I just
It's harmless.
thought I
don't-
would bring
I'm
it up
not
because
mad.
I was just a little like, I don't know, unsettled by it, I guess.
You're making it sound worse than it is.
I know, that's why we're
It's
going
meant
to
to be a
post a
fun
link.
commercial, and it is a fun commercial. I think my only little tiny gripe is that it plays into the stereotype that Star Wars fans just like lightsabers are so cool and that's what Star Wars is all about.
Sabers.
Well, anyway, thanks for watching.